Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited, highly anticipated return of Eddie O, a.k.a. Eddie Oyakhilome from Qoollege.com, which makes the United States National High School Champions League starting 11 or thereabouts a reality. Thank you, Eddie O.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for that intro. As usual, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come out here. Let me make a quick shout out to some of the High School Champions League sponsors, Kevin. I think it's important I do that because I'm going to highlight or spotlight two of our major sponsors. One is Select Sports, right?
Yes.
In my opinion, Select Sport is arguably the best collegiate and professional training and game balls manufacturer. And I'm speaking from firsthand experience. My academy in the Gambia, I sent the Select balls to them about 3 years ago. And guess what? They've used the training ball and the match ball for the past 3 years since they started Division 3. And this year, this summer, the Gambian team is called Medina United. They won the First Division League Championship using the Select training and mat balls. And we joke about it. These balls.
You're cutting up, so be careful.
Okay. Like I was saying, Select Sports is arguably the best collegiate and professional training balls out there. My academy, the Medina United in the Gambia, have been using that ball for the past 3 years for training, and they have the match ball. They just won the First Division Championship this summer using Select balls. So this shows the quality and durability of Select balls, because in that kind of terrain where the grass, the fields is not perfect, they're able to use that ball for 3 years, and it's still, you bring it out of the bag, you pump it, it's already inflated. So I encourage everybody, to try Select ball. The difference is clear, Kevin. The difference is clear.
Everyone. It's well certified 100%. And personally, hey, you ain't getting a whale to play with any other ball. It's select or go home.
That's it. And my next highlight for the High School Champions League sponsor is, of course, the Well Certified, because I just want to, thanks for giving the High School Champions League a voice to continue to support the school and the movement, that you allow us to come out here and talk sports, talk High School Champions League. You're giving us a platform and a voice to be able to, continue to expand the High School Champions League. So thanks to Whale Certified.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you.
And of course, we can't forget Qoollege, Qoollege.com, Qoollege, College Prep Reimagined. So those are my three sponsor highlights for today. So let me get to my topic. As you know, that I've always focused the past few podcasts on parents, coaches, athletic directors, and the student athletes. So I'm going to continue the theme because we're just about to roll into high school season. So my number one will be, the reality check, scrimmage. It's starting now, preseason scrimmage. The other will be the coaches and how do they select and build their captains. My third topic for today will be, to the parents to practice the 24-hour rule, especially in the first scrimmage that they're going to be having soon. And of course, my favorite, the athletic directors, they're always behind the scenes getting ready for game day operations, safety check to make sure that the kids, the parents, and the coaches have a good environment to play in. And my number 5 will be to talk about Qoollege integration. Building that academic shields before day one. It's better to be proactive to get it done. So, Kevin, those are going to be my 5 topics for today. What do you think?
Oh, let me tell you something, pal. I look forward to Eddie O session here at Wales Certified, and the United States National High School Champions League has you benefit. You bring class and style to the operation.
Thank you. So, Kevin, it's mid-August, preseason and conditioning. It gives way to official scrimmages right now. Teams are preparing to play under the light. Schools are starting in a matter of days or weeks. The game calendars are probably set for most schools now. And the reality of balancing that full-time academics and varsity competition, trust me, is about to slam into student athletes and their families. Before they know it, the academic and the athletic schedules are going to start coming at them so fast. So let me say something, Kevin. The lights are coming on, the referees are pulling into the parking lot. Just picture that. And official preseason is on the way. This is something that maybe some of the kids have been looking forward to, right? And we're sitting right on the edge of the opening day. And the school is just days away. So right now, the heart is pumping, and so is the anxiety that comes along with it. When we've been preparing, practicing, training, and then all of a sudden, preseason scrimmages are upon us. That's a good thing, right? Because you do all that work, you just want to test it out. So players are fighting for starting position. Parents are getting their first taste of sideline tension. Some of the seniors are gone, they graduated, but they may come for the opening game. And coaches and athletic directors are working overtime behind the scenes, to make sure the game day operations don't fall apart. That's a lot going on behind the scenes. So today we're going to talk about, I call it the dress rehearsals, Kevin, how to maximize scrimmage performance, establish locker room leadership, because leadership on and off the field is important, and why locking in your academic roadmap with Qoollege right now is the ultimate game plan, right? It's a game changer before schoolwork collides with match play. So I'm going to go straight into it, the dress rehearsal. I call this scrimmage dress rehearsal because that's when we want to see how we prepare for the athletic side, and then how do we deal with the collision of the academic rigors when it starts. So for the athletes, the reality check is to understand that, playing for highlight is different from playing for your team. So the focus should be for them using the preseason scrimmages for, I always tell my players, use the scrimmages for tactical discipline, not personal showmanship. Why do I say that, Kevin? A lot of players treat preseason scrimmages like a personal highlight tape, right? They try that 30-yard shots that they cannot, they shouldn't be taking. They force dribbles, they force passes into maybe double or triple coverage just because they want to impress. That's because they're looking at making themselves the highlight reel, but coaches are not evaluating that individual flair in scrimmages. What coaches are actually looking for, they're evaluating the tactical trust that can the player track back on defense? Do you make that unselfish pass when it's necessary? Do you encourage your teammates who just turn the ball over, rather than scream at them? Do you encourage them, right? You need to show your coach in these scrimmages that you make the whole 11 players better on the pitch, not just yourself, right? Because the players have that mentality to say, okay, I've made the team now, tryout is over, it's our first scrimmage, let me continue to try out in front of my coach. Yes, that's imperative, but at the same time, you want to now implement yourself with the team so that you show that you're part of the 11 or even 22-man roster, not just yourself. So that's my advice for the student athletes.
Wow. And it would have been something to watch you play. Having that ball on your foot, it would be like Hey, stop the game. He's got a tape. He's got that ball taped to his foot.
Fortunately, I was blessed with the ability to do that. I still continue to get involved, coaching the over 50 leagues here in Tampa and actually playing. So it's fun. It's in the blood, so you just don't lose it like that. So my second topic is coaches, right? How do we start building leadership, extension of ourselves? When I say that, so maybe our captains from last year graduated. We have, juniors from last year becoming seniors, or are very good kids that all the players gravitate to, they listen to. This is when we select a captain and have them become captain in the pre-season scrimmages. The focus is to always empower our athletes leadership so that they can manage the locker room dynamics, because sometimes some players are comfortable talking to each other than when the coaches are available. They'll rather talk to their teammates, or leadership can become an extension of the coach. So coaches should be able to pick players, not necessarily the best player on the team, but in most cases that can implement tactics that can help break down the culture in the locker room, that can help bring the students together and deliver the message of the coach to the team, right? And the captain that can also, that new kid that just got promoted to varsity, maybe on balance, maybe on shaky grounds because they're not sure. So a leader, a captain can actually, pick that player off and help them to blend into the team. So I always say, we always, from a leadership standpoint, to be a good leader, we need to empower those leaders to resolve minor conflict within the team, right? And those leaders are the ones that's going to help us enforce the standard and mentor the younger players before issues ever get to the office, right? Sometimes they don't need to get to the office. Let them be the extension of the coach on and off the field. Because from my experience, great teams, right, are not driven by coaches. They're actually driven by the player-led standards. What I mean by that is when your captain shows leadership, others will follow. So that's my second topic, Karen. Empowering students and athletes to be leaders, to be able to communicate with their peers and manage them.
Wow. Well, I tell you, I'm going to be different this coming season, because I agree with you. And I've heard it and I wanted to do it, but I never, until right now, understood it. And so I'm looking forward to it.
I appreciate it. My third topic will be, of course, for the parents, right? I did speak about the 24-hour rule during tryout, during selection process. Why didn't my kid make it? But this also continues because, the first rule in scrimmages, I always say to parents, just have that 24-hour time to process it. Let your child actually, process the game, right? Parents should always focus on managing emotions during the early lineup rotation because it's preseason, it's scrimmage, right? Scrimmages are actually designed for coaches to experiment. Your child may play out of position, right? Or get fewer minutes. So the coach can actually evaluate the depth of the team, right? So your child may be a starter, maybe he plays the first 20 minutes, and coach says, oh, I've seen enough. We're playing against this team. Let me bring my younger players off the bench. It doesn't mean that your kid got pulled out because it's not good enough. So I always say to parents, please do not panic and do not confront the coaching staff in the parking lot after a scrimmage. It's just preseason. Coaches are trying to figure out the team, the lineup, the chemistry, the balance. And so that 24-hour allows everybody to come down and then, let the kid go talk to the coach. Treat this exhibition games as a dry run, for yourself as a parent too. If they practice that rule, trust me, it's not such a big deal because if you're upset about playing time or tactical decision, wait 24 hours before having a calm, constructive conversation with the coach or the coaching staff. Let your child process the game first without absorbing any emotional frustration. What do I mean by that? Because sometimes the child is sitting on the bench, is learning, is understanding what the coach is saying to a player on the field that's playing your child's position. So if the coach is saying, "Oh, come on, Eddie, you got to make that diagonal run. That pass was open." So now your child is actually learning, listening to what the coach is saying about what's going on. So when your child gets on the field now, he can remember to make that diagonal run, read the game, because from the bench, he's listening to those instructions. He is becoming a student of the game. So sometimes the best education and getting understanding of a coach is when your child is sitting next to them and listening to the instructions he's giving to the field. That's my advice for parents today.
Right on.
So my number 4 topic, Kevin, I'm trying to, bang this all out. It's my favorite, athletic directors. Those guys, I don't think they ever take a day off. Between all the multiple sports, they want game day operations, safety check. They focus. Their focus is on that facility to make sure the safety protocol before opening game for basketball, for soccer, for football. Athletic directors are always in a hot seat this time of the year because between referee assignments, field lighting, spectator management, and the athletic trainer coverage, who's going to be here, what game is being played, all those opening night logistics can make or break the community support. Seriously, if they don't get it right, it can become chaos. And once your first opening game is a chaos, it's hard to really bounce back from it. So, Kevin, I know most, if not all, of our athletic directors already do this, but it's still worth me mentioning it. I want them to review the emergency action plan, right, with the coaching staff and trainers right now. This is the best time to make the coaches and training staff be familiar with the EAPs, the emergency action plans, because the athletic director may not be at every game when it's needed. They should know exactly who has access to the AEDs, how emergency vehicles enter the facility, how to manage extreme weather delays, how do they communicate it to not only their team, their family, but also the visiting team. All this needs to be put in place right now because a smooth, safe match day environment sets an elite tone for the entire school district. Believe me or not, it's very critical and important.
Absolutely. What you don't know, but now you know.
That's right. That's right. Even if you already know it, it's good to always review it and make sure that, somebody hasn't moved the AED machine, away from where it's supposed to be. So to just do those checks is important.
Yes.
So my number 5 topic today is, of course, Qoollege integration. Why Qoollege integration? Because building that academic shield before day one is very important. And this is for the students and parents, Kevin. I encourage you all to focus on eliminating academic overwhelm before class and match schedules start colliding. We take those little things for granted, and all of a sudden the chaos comes in. We have to manage academic, we have to manage the athletic schedule, and some students may be playing multiple sports, right? So finally, Kevin, let's just talk about that impending collision. It's going to come. It's part of the journey. It could be next week, school starts. The students are going from free summer schedules to 6 hours of classes, right? Immediate homework and late night Tuesday, Thursday night away games where they have to travel. And by the time they get home, it's too late to even do their homework. But imagine if they're on the bus, win or lose, they're coming back. A kid goes on the Qoollege app, is able to at least do some practice tests, check his task, message the counselor, communicate, and the parents see that. When he gets home, all he has to do is shower and get ready to get a good night's sleep for the next day. So when fatigue sets in, guess what usually drops is the academic performance because kids are driven. Sports is an outlet for them, and the minute that overwhelming schedule comes into play, is the academic performance that first of all drops, and that can then make them ineligible to play the sport that they love. So why not? This is why setting up your system on Qoollege before the first bell ring is very critical because that manages your academic and athletic schedules for you. The platform gives family access to over 6,000 plus higher education in the US and Canada, and it unlocks over 35,000 stackable scholarship opportunities. And this can be done, by just logging in, creating an account at Qoollege.com. Because believe it, the Ollie, which is the AI personal assistant, acts as an automated compass that actually mentors, keep track of application tasks, help them with essay deadlines and their merit aid requirements in their background while students actually focus on school and sports. In this case, school and soccer. So Qoollege also has the counselors that can help with athletic side of their journey, right? They can talk to human counselors who will help and support them because when you build that academic shield early, the mid-season burnout never gets a chance to take root. Trust me, this is very critical and important. So finally, Kevin, as we stand on the thresholds of this high school season, take a second to absorb the moment. Everybody take a second to absorb the moment. To the student athletes lacing up their boots for these final scrimmages, feel the butterflies. It's okay. It's okay to have that anticipation, that butterflies. Enjoy that pregame music while you're warming up. Look into the eyes, lock eyes with your teammates besides you because you're about to go to battle together. Those are what makes team sport very, very, enjoyable. There's no feeling like representing that badge, your school, and playing in the Champions League, playing for the name in front of your jersey, knowing that you are an elite because you're playing an elite high school Champions League tournament. And to the parents, Kevin, that's sitting in the stands, just grab your coffee, sit next to your friends, enjoy watching your kid run out on that grass. When they go out there with pride and you're just watching your kid be part of a team that can make changes. So the high school journey, Kevin, moves fast. But when you have a clear dual track plan, I spoke about this last time, when you have a dual track plan with tools like Qoollege, protecting your child's future, you don't have to carry college stress to the soccer field. You can just be present and enjoy every single whistle as the game starts and ends. So the dress rehearsal is over, Kevin. Let's kick the season. Let's kick off the season with a bang. So that's all I got. Go to Qoollege.com and sign up today. College Prep Reimagine, where you can have access to unlimited stackable scholarship. And also, while you're doing that, make sure that select ball is what you're juggling, you're touching, you're warming up with, and get familiar with touching the ball and continue to improve and get better.
Wow. under full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, if I had Qoollege.com, I would have been college. I would have got a college degree. I would have, the plan. I failed to have a plan.
And also, Kevin, you would have got a ton of scholarship to explore and apply. There are some scholarship that you don't even need to write an essay. I mean, believe it or not, there are scholarship, you may not even think about that's there. Left-handed scholarship. I don't know. There's, tons. When you have 35,000 plus scholarship that gives you the deadline that this is expiring this week, and every day you're getting updated status of your scholarship. It just manages the stress. And who doesn't need that extra scholarship to help offset the cost of college?
Well, for me, the hardest part of school and soccer was getting there.
Correct.
I had to climb a lot of hills to get to school and practice. All right, Eddie, this has been food for thought. Everybody's got a smorgasbord here. This is wonderful. So thank you so very much. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been Eddie Oyakhilome from the United States National High School Champions League, starting 11 or thereabouts.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you. See you next podcast.
All right, then.
All right. Bye now.